mushroom dip. What'd you call me?
Well, hi there,
Mushroom
food
dip.
friends. It's Kevin.
Hi there, and I'm Ralph behind the camera.
And welcome to Cavalcade of Food. And that's right, Ralph. Nothing personal, but we're making a mushroom dip today. And you know, a couple of weeks ago, we put up an episode that highlighted the electric skillet collection here at Cavalcade. And everybody really loved it. And I'm glad. I'm always glad to share all the videos of the vintage appliances, but so many people commented, oh, my mom used to make this in her electric skillet, or my aunt made this, my grandma made this, and so I just loved that the electric skillet connected with people in ways like that, because that's the best part about food, being able to channel, you know,
the nostalgia and the connections,
and loved ones and things like that. So here is a recipe that was written for an electric skillet, and we thought, well, let's make something in one of our skillets. This beautiful skillet is a Westinghouse, and I have got in here, I've got it at 325 degrees, and to this I've put in 3 tablespoons of butter, which is now melted. I've got a pound of mushrooms.
Wow.
That I just coarsely chopped. Okay? We're going to put those in there.
Any particular variety of mushrooms?
I just got what they had, which was just the white, you know,
what do they
mushrooms.
call those? Button mushrooms?
Yeah, and these were nice sized ones. And then I also have a quarter cup, give or take, probably a little bit more give, of very finely diced onion. We're going to put that in there. So what we're going to do now, Ralph, is, if I can find a wooden spoon, we're going to basically cook the mushrooms and the onions in this butter. We're going to saute it until it's all nice and golden. Probably take about 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, there's a lot of liquid in the onions and the mushrooms, and you can see it's already reducing.
Yeah, and so we just want to get a good cook on these mushrooms, but I love this recipe. It's from 1978, and again, it's very reflective of that time. And the idea was you make it and serve it right in your electric skillet.
Ah, sounds like a party dip.
Exactly right. It's a great party dip, and who doesn't like? Look at these mushrooms. If you don't like mushrooms, you really wouldn't like this. We love mushrooms.
Yeah.
And we're looking for it. And I like how, you know, we chop them coarsely so that you know you're eating a mushroom.
Yes.
You know, sometimes things are so finely diced and small that you're not quite sure what it is. You're going to know you've got mushrooms in this dip. And it's a wonderful aroma of the melted butter and onions to accompany those mushrooms. So yeah, so we're going to just let our Westinghouse electric skillet do all the work. And this is one of the beauties of the electric skillet. I don't have to turn the stove on. I don't have to search for a big pan. I would actually have very few pans that are this size. And what's best is when I'm done, the heating control pulls out and this whole thing is immersible, and I can give it a good wash in the sink. And from the design of it too, like you said, you could just use it as a serving tray as well. Beautiful. And anyways, we're going to continue to cook these, and we'll be back when we're ready. Here getting a nice mushroom facial. Yeah, the aroma is wonderful. Better kind? Oh yeah, there's a lot of steam coming off of them from all that liquid. Yeah, there's a lot of water in mushrooms and onions and all vegetables, really. But it's a wonderful mixture of aromas from the earthiness of the mushrooms and then that kind of nostalgic onion and butter smell that we all grew up with. So the mushrooms are soft and golden, and the onion is nice and brown. But see how much they reduced from when they were real big and chunky. So what I'm going to do now, Ralph, is I got a bowl here. I'm going to get the vegetables, our mushrooms and our onions out of, I saw something go overboard here, out of the pan. And we're just going to let these kind of take an intermission for a few minutes.
From the fabulous mushroom dip show.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so nice. It's always nice. We really appreciate your comments, and I try to respond when I can. And it was just so great to hear from so many of you with these wonderful memories of the electric skillets in your life and the things that you remember having.
And so many people said it was sort of like their go-to appliance, or the one that they couldn't live without. And
which is how I felt for a long time. Ralph, I'm adding 2 more tablespoons of butter here, okay?
Because it wasn't caloric enough?
Well,
it was too healthy.
We need a little fat in this
pan.
I know. But by the way, look at all these wonderful mushroom bits down at the bottom of the pan. So we're going to melt this butter here.
Well, that's just for part 2, because you've got more stuff to cook in there, right?
We do. So it's still at 325 degrees. I haven't turned the thermostat, and we're going to leave it right there until the end. But I want this butter to melt. There it goes. Now, to the 2 tablespoons of butter, I'm going to blend in 1/4 cup of flour. Okay? And we're making, when you got flour and a fat, Ralph, that's called
a roux.
A roux, yes, you remember. And we also want to cook the flour. Raw flour has a taste that's frankly not
very appetizing.
Well, it's not delicious. But so we want to blend the flour into the butter, let it cook off a little bit, just for a minute, and make sure that we get all the
flour, the dry parts wet.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to clump a little bit, but that's normal.
Yeah, and I'm going to get, matter of fact, I will get a rubber spatula here, silicone, and we'll get that off of here.
So we're cooking the flour in the butter and the bits of mushroom that were left with the onion in the pan after you removed them over here.
Now, what I've got as this butter cook, or as the roux cooks a little bit, I've got 2 cups of milk. Okay, use either a whole or 2% milk, please. And I'm now going to add this in
half a cup at a time.
The milk is warm, by the way. Don't add cold milk to a hot pan like that, okay? So warm your milk up in the microwave. So what we're going to do is to the warm milk now, this will really help us dissolve that flour mixture.
And continue to cook it.
Yes, and continue to cook it. So, and what roux do, the combination, it's of, again, this is a science thing, of the butter, of the fat and the flour, is basically, it's a thickener. Okay, and it's used to thicken all kinds of things.
Uncle Kevin's chemistry lab lesson.
So much of cooking is chemistry, and so a lot of it is just, intuition and creativity and all those things. So now what I think I'm going to do to help dissolve it, let's grab a whisk. There we go. And what we want to do is we want to break up, thank you, Ralph, we want to break up any of these clumps of flour here so that it dissolves completely. But what this whisk is going to help do is it's helping to clear off those yummy bits. I'll put another half cup
that were at the bottom of the pan.
At the bottom of this Westinghouse electric skillet. And you can see, Ralph, this is really, as it cooks, it thickens. Okay.
Are you sure you're not making a mushroom soup? Because that's what it's starting to look like.
It does look like a mushroom soup. It's got the color, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cream of mushroom soup.
It sure does remind me of it.
Yeah. Well, let's see. We've got that coming together now beautifully. And we're going to just keep on a whisking. This is really a white, milk, butter, flour, milk is a white sauce. that you would make as a foundation for a lot of things, like mac and cheese and different gravies and other sauces. Okay.
So in goes the last of the milk.
So we've got our 2 cups of milk in here, and I'm just going to continue to whisk this just in order to get it nice and smooth.
Clump free.
Scrape the sides, and yeah, it's really, this is such a great appliance because it's portable, and a lot of you shared your experience with using the portability of the electric skillet to go out and fry things like in the backyard, on the porch, so that you wouldn't make a splattery mess in your kitchen, or maybe make a smelly mess in your house from whatever it is that you were frying.
And some people said they keep their electric skillet close to the sink so that they can continue to work with it there and have it as an extra little, almost like a little heating part of the kitchen, little cooking part of the kitchen, handy dandy.
Okay, now look how nice and thick this has become, Ralph.
Mm-hmm.
See that?
And you can actually smell the flour cooked now. It almost smells like you're, like a, not a bread, but, just that flour smell, but it's no longer raw.
Yes, it's cooked off.
Cooked off, yeah.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is we're going to take our cream cheese. So what I've got here, Ralph, is an 8-ounce block of my spoon rest. 8-ounce block of cream cheese.
Wow.
Okay. And I've cut it up into smaller pieces, and we're going to put the cream cheese in.
Yum. Now it's turning into a dip.
And we're going to allow that cream cheese to melt away in our thickened mushroom sauce. So
does the heat stay the same or go down?
Yes, the heat stays the same. I actually have left the cream cheese out for a little bit so that it was, again, I didn't want to put cold, ice cold cream cheese in here, so I took it out of the wrapper and put it on the plate and cut it up into smaller pieces where it could kind of come up to room temperature a little bit before I put it in the pan. So we're gonna help it along here and have it melt. But of course this is going to thicken. If it was, the dip was already getting thick with the roux, but this is going to really thicken it up.
Give it some body, yeah.
So again, it was just an 8-ounce package of cream cheese. I think if you wanted to, don't use the fat-free cream cheese, but you could use the lighter, it's like a third less. This is a regular cream cheese, but that would work okay here too. There would be enough fat in it to do the job. But we want to stir that in. We really want to meld the cream cheese with that wonderful sauce that we made. Okay. Wow. Look at that. The cream cheese, in addition to giving it richness and thickness, will deliver a really nice little tang to the dip.
Mm.
And this dip is intended to be served warm, again, right from your electric skillet for your guests. Okay, cream cheese, done. Okay, that is melted. Now we're going to put in some seasoning. So what I've got is, I'm going to put in a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to put in 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Okay, so that'll give it a little bit of heat, a little bit of zing. You could, if you don't like it real, and 1/8 of a teaspoon isn't much, but if you prefer not to have that heat, leave it out. You can omit it. And then 1/2 teaspoon.
Did you shake it up?
I did give it a good shake. 1/2 teaspoon here of
Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire sauce. Okay, and we're going to. That'll give it a nice color.
Mm-hmm.
Now what I'm going to do, Ralph, is I'm going to reduce the heat now. Finally, again, it's been at 325 this entire time. I'm going to reduce it down to kind of the simmer zone.
Right.
Because what I want to do, now that everything is in, we're going to put back in our mushrooms and onions. Okay? So, those go back in, and they have, even there's a little juice in that.
Yeah, get every bit of that flavor.
You know us, we're not going to waste any of it.
We're not playing.
Stuff. We are not playing.
You could just see this dip at a 70s party with
your leisure suit, okay, and your little
platform shoes.
Yes,
And you know, we could use a lot of different things with this dip. We're going to use corn chips, and you could use toast points. You could use
crudité.
Is crudité like raw vegetables?
Yeah, raw veggies. You know, celery, cauliflower, broccoli, carrots. You know, the like, and do that because if you think of we all are familiar with like a spinach dip, right, or a artichoke dip. Well, these are other hot dips that are kind of thick like this. And why treat this any different, frankly?
Yeah, this is could be the new, for us, the new version of that, because those are always hits at gatherings that we go to.
Oh my God, people can't get
enough the spinach dips and the hot Parmesan cheese dips and things like that. But
so okay, you know what? We are going to let this simmer. I'm going to put the lid on it, and I'm going to vent it, and we're just going to let that do its thing for about 4 or 5 minutes, and it's time to come back and try our wonderful mushroom dip.
While we listen to some cha-cha-cha.
All right. There, Ralph.
Yum.
Yum.
So 70s dip in action. Where's my Harvey Wallbanger? Isn't that what they used to drink back in the 70s?
Yeah, whiskey sour.
Yeah. Party dip.
So again, we're going to have it with, we have some really nice tortilla chips here, but the raw vegetables, Marianne had a good idea. The little cocktail bread that they usually have with
spinach dip and
things would be great.
And I mentioned pita
bread
would be good.
Yeah, so many good possibilities. So let's. Wow.
Well,
it's Ralph. You gotta try it. Careful, it's hot. But
here comes my hand.
There you go. But you're really getting the mushroom goodness in this.
Yeah.
Right,
I haven't tried it
which
yet.
Which is the point, I guess. Having the mushroom.
Oh yeah.
You can't get the mushroom.
Wow. I like those. Yeah, those chunks. You're really getting the textural experience of those chunks of mushroom.
You know, I could even put a little bit more cayenne in it for a little extra kick, but it's there. Plus, we're eating a salty chip.
That's true.
So if you were having it with something
like a vegetable or
something
or pita
like
bread,
that, it would be a different kind of contrast. But again, if you didn't want the cayenne, you could just put some black pepper in. But wonderful!
I love it.
So. Another one of the 1,000,001 ways to use your electric skillet. Make a wonderful party dip next time you have family and friends over, or you're invited somewhere. You just walk in the door as proud as you please with your electric skillet.
You'll be a
plug
hit.
that baby in and let everybody enjoy. So you know what? Thanks for being a part of this one. We had a great time cooking with you and spending some time with you. Hope you are well, hope you are strong, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next time right here on Cavalcade of Food. Bye, everybody.
See you next time.